right, have and have not fans, we're going to get started here in just a little bit. We're going to be discussing Errand Boy episode 5 from last night. I believe Chandler's going to try to call in, so once we get him on the line and the audience builds up, we're going to go ahead and get started. Guys, it doesn't matter who's first, it just matters you're on. That's all I'm saying. And before we get started here, and again, we're going to be discussing the episode, let me know in the comments, how did you like last night's episode of the haves and the have-nots? And also, just let me know if you can hear me clearly. All right, Cool Kid gives it a 7 out of 10. All right, good. I'm glad everybody can hear me. That's great. And also, I apologize for not doing a live stream. I've been really busy over the past week here. But on the bright side, I know I've posted at least a dozen episodes or videos on this channel, and I also posted like 10 or 15 videos on my second channel. All right, Richard, there we go. Good live feed. I can hear you clearly. Perfect. All right, trying to get Channel on the line right now. Okay. 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Yeah, guys, I don't know if you saw my other post or my episode review. I gave it about a 9.5. I really thought it was that good. Hello?
Hey, Jeremy, how's it going?
Doing all right, and yourself?
Doing well.
Perfect. All right, well, I'm finishing up getting everything set. And let me check on the audience. Looks like everybody can hear us clearly. Okay, well, to get started, I think we just talked about in the chat a few minutes ago, I was pretty satisfied with the episode. I mean, I honestly felt it was the best one this season. I give it about a 9, a 9.5 out of 10, and just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I liked it too. I liked the pacing. I liked the timing of the characters. I liked how we got some new character interaction between Melissa and Mitch, Melissa and Benny, David, and my favorite was David and the officer, David and Justin. I'm glad that we finally got character interaction between those two.
Yep, and if you notice something in the preview for next week, we know that Jim is going to be coming over to Wyatt's condo, and he's going to see Justin and Wyatt fighting. So then in the preview, we also saw that Wyatt and Jim are going to be talking specifically about the court case. So I'm wondering if Justin is going to make it to the end of the season, because, you know, David's probably going to be getting on his case for Jeffrey, and then Jim might be looking into it possibly because he was attacking Wyatt. And the list goes on, so I dare say that Justin might be one of the characters that might not make it to the end of the season.
Based on what I based on what I have seen from Justin these past couple episodes, I'm ready for him to go.
Yeah, likewise. But let me just talk about the positives of the episode. There were just so much, because on the screen I have a picture of Veronica and then Candace where she gets arrested. Now, let me just talk about the positives, and I said this in my episode review. I loved it because this episode was all about, if there was a theme of this episode, it was not taking anybody's crap. What I mean by that is David didn't have time for Jeffrey stumbling over his words and not telling the whole story. He's like, look, I saw what that officer was doing to you. You tell me exactly what's going on right now, because David is like the audience in the fact that I could have helped you out a long time ago if you would have just been upfront and honest and told me what your mother was doing. Then we move over to Catherine. It's like, Hannah, I understand you've been through a lot. You've definitely been through it, but you can't just wallow around and do nothing, you know? You need to get on out there and meet new people and smile. I think that was even brought up, like, when was the last time you laughed or smiled? And I just love how she's being a bit forceful, but Hannah does need that push. It's like, look, if you won't even take the house I'm offering you or working as a maid in my new house, at least try to go out with this one guy. And then we move over to Jim, who, okay, I will admit this is a bit different, but he wasn't taking Sarah's crap. He was like, look, you're going to do what I say and get on that bed and then get rid of the evidence. And last one I want to mention, and then I'll turn it over to you. Oh, you know what? I'm going to save this bit. I'm going to save it. Okay, go ahead. Say what you want to say. There's one bit I need to save because I feel like that will flip the conversation over.
Okay, I wanted to talk about Catherine. Catherine. We see her going from murderer to matchmaker. You see what?
No. I agree. It's like, I don't dislike Catherine. It's just like, it's interesting how they shifted her character.
She's like an onion. I always tell people she's like an onion because she has so many different layers.
Oh, I agree. It's like the different layers of Catherine Cryer. It's just interesting how they're doing it because you're right. 1 minute she's a murderer, threatening to kill Veronica. Her and Veronica are at each other's throats. And then it's like they have an unholy alliance in the fact that, okay, we need to burn down this house for evidence, and that's it. Now she has a I don't give a damn attitude. And you know what's funny? We haven't seen Broderick in like 3 or 4 episodes, so it's kind of like, is he ever showing up again? That's not a complaint. That's just a Catherine thing. Maybe they're saving Catherine for in the back half of the season. That could be what's going on because they're mainly focusing on like, okay, I want to set you up with, Hannah. Excuse me, Derek.
Exactly. Derek David. Speaking about, I want to go back because I didn't get to talk to you much last week. Can we talk about, I was a little ticked off at the beginning of last week's episode.
Yeah, I was.
The whole Candace father situation. I'm like, really, Hannah? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I actually.
Do that? But then I got the first 15, 20 minutes, and I got the backstory, and then I wasn't so angry. But Hannah only did that to prove a point. But it was just like we were all hyped up about it, and it was just like, well.
You know what? Because I was really busy last week, so I don't think I did any live streams last week. I did like 12 videos, though. But I even said in the videos that it wasn't a bad episode. There just really wasn't a lot to draw from. Aside from Hannah's backstory, there really wasn't much for me to actually talk about, And
but that poor man, that poor John, whoever he was, he got called in the middle, and he's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave.
Well, at least he didn't. At least he didn't get robbed, though. So.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. I was a bit ticked off when it turned out that wasn't the dad. However, there were a couple of things I did like about that. Number one, Hannah was being Hannah, and that's exactly what a mom will do. It's like a mom will say something that sticks with you. It might not be true, but it sticks with you. And she made a point. It's like, for all you know, you could have slept or were about to sleep with your father. But as I said in another video, I feel that Candace's father is going to show up because the fact there was so much emphasis put on that lion tattoo. I don't think they would mention something so unique about that man without it being shown at some point during the show.
Now, I will go ahead and say this about Candace's father. I do not like the David theory. That's just something I never could handle. I never did agree with it. It's just not. I don't like that theory.
I fully agree. I only did the video to prove a point because a lot of people were messaging me about it. And the same thing with Derek. I think I did 2 separate videos. I'm like, God, no, don't let it be Derek. Hannah, the next man Hannah is introduced to needs to be like a straightforward man, no hidden agenda, which is very rare on this show. So, and yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, aside from the Candace father, there really wasn't much else to talk about in that episode. Especially, I hated the ending. That was probably my least favorite ending so far. Okay, it looks like Chandler froze up there for a second. Let me double check. Yeah, I don't think David has tattoos. I think we might have seen him shirtless at one point. I think. All right, let me double check. So I'm going to try to call him back. And guys, while I'm waiting to call Chandler back, if you could just tell me some other of your thoughts from the episodes, just let me know. Eric, I definitely agree. Benny is making some very dumb decisions. I don't know. I feel like Derek the handyman is a clean guy. Justin, Erica, Quita, and Melissa. That's another thing I liked about the episode because David was a hard ass. Like, you know, it wasn't him being blind to Erica. It was him being David Harrington father. Yeah, it looks like Melissa's going to try to get it on with Mitch, so we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Yeah, the handyman is a nice guy. Hey guys, I don't know what happened to Chandler. It's like the phone disconnected or something. I don't know. Let me try it again. Hey guys, I'm going to do a video about this later, but did anybody notice how friendly Veronica and Benny were when they were talking? But when Benny called her a control freak, that's when the conversation shifted. Did anybody else catch that? And I think I even got the picture on the screen, the top photo there, where you see Veronica sitting on the bed with Benny. That face she made was the same face that she made when he said control freak. Hey, if you can hear me, let me know. I don't know what happened there, because the live stream says everything is good to go. Eric, you are asking the right questions, but we're talking about a show that never really explains anything. Richard, you make a good point. I caught that, but didn't think much of it. She knows it's true. I actually, I don't know, because I love the scene between Benny and Veronica, because Benny was actually telling a lot of truths in this episode. It's like, you're a control freak, your son is gay. Tojo, Veronica's just stunned because of the truth. I like that, because not a lot of people, if anyone has ever just talked to Veronica, and Benny wasn't talking back, he wasn't being rude, he was actually being honest. And of all the people on the show, you would think Veronica would think he's the honest one. But here's the one thing that has me question the Veronica thing. Remember when she was like, oh, well, yeah, I do not. I don't make people crazy, but I do, you know, I'm in control. And then she was like, I can't control you. Was like, yeah, that's right, you can't. And I felt like Veronica was kind of like a challenge accepted moment, in terms of, you know what, if he thinks I can't control him, just wait and see. So I'll send him over to the house. Somebody sent me a tweet saying that, hey, what if it's a plan to get Melissa on camera cheating? But I don't know. Veronica does have cameras all over the house, but I feel like that's a bit too convenient. Cool Kid Veronica is 50 and thinking about a relationship with a 23-year-old. Stranger things have happened in real life, not to mention on this show. Okay. And Justin's trying to control Jeffrey is getting old. Jeffrey, unleash your mom on him. I agree. The Justin thing is just... And then the fact that he goes over to Wyatt's house and busts into place with a crowbar. Justin is messing with the wrong people. That's all I'm saying. I feel like at some point he is definitely going to die. It's this season, no doubt. Yeah, I'm still here, guys. I'm just reading through the chats. Yeah, but hey, for everybody just tuning in, if you could let me know in the comments, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rank the episode? Honestly, I feel like it was a 9.5. Oh, we got Chandler back. Hang on a second. Hello?
Hello? I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I just don't know.
Yeah, that's weird because it froze. For once, it seemed that on my end, everything was fine, but your camera froze and that was it. But you're back now, so real quick.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. I was about to say real quick, you could pick up where you left off.
Yeah, I was talking. I was listening to you too, but I heard you talking about. I don't think that Melissa. I mean, it's possible that it's to get her caught on camera, but I don't think so.
Because
I don't think that's what it is. I think she's.
I mean, the fact that Jeffrey's gay, he wouldn't give a crap if she cheated on him. That's the thing. At least in my mind.
I don't think he would either.
Yeah. And all right, now let's talk about 2 more scenes in this episode. We can start with the Landon and Charles, and then we'll talk about the Erica, Gia, and Candace scene. Now, with Landon and Charles, I really don't get what they're trying to do. Are they trying to rehash the whole, like, Maggie Day situation where she's in, well, Landon, the political campaign manager is in love or has feelings for the person they're working for? And then the fact that Charles is straight just means that I don't really know what Landon's trying to do with this.
Well, we saw how badly that ended with Maggie Day.
Exactly. And basically, I feel like Landon's jealousy towards Candace in regards to Charles' affection towards her is going to lead to his downfall.
Me too, because Candace, I don't know what. Does Candace even know? Well, yeah, Candace knows that Landon's working for Charles.
Yeah, remember he walked in on him because of an emergency meeting, and then locked eyes with her in the bed, and he was freaking out. I believe that was right after Charles revealed his Chucky side to Candace. Is like, look, I'm not playing no games. I can have you arrested if I want it, but as long as I have the power chair, we're all good. And Landon was shaken when he saw Candace because remember, the last time they saw each other was when she was literally having him strong-armed for information on Oscar and he peed himself. Man. All right. So
I remember that.
yeah, that was a funny
and
scene.
Who was that? I don't think we got a name of the woman that Landon was talking to last week.
No, we did not. Cause I rewatched that scene when I was, getting my photos for my videos. I'm like, yeah, all we know is she's another person on the campaign trail for Charles, but we don't have a name yet. I might have to check on IMDb or something to see if I can get a name. But I mean, the fact that she knows is kind of like, again, a reverse. She's kind of like
It could be because somebody sent me something last night with the cast of the episodes. Her name could be like, because I saw something somewhere that was supposed to be like Adeline Mayfield or something like that. So that could be.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, I'll double check on that. But I feel like this woman, she might be the Landon while Landon's Maggie Day in this situation, because remember, Landon was aware of how Maggie was into David, but she was like, come on, back off. I know what I'm doing. And in this situation, Landon is into Charles, and that woman's like, wait, you're into him, right? It's like the way he just melts over her. It's like, you want him for yourself. He's 100% straight. Oh, I've been 100% straight man before. And I'm thinking to myself, Landon is just walking into his own demise. I mean, the fact that you're most likely going to try to sabotage Candace. You're messing around with somebody who's from the streets, because Charles said, I'm not this a clean-cut guy with a clear background like you think I am. So I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be willingly trying to get in bed with Landon. Oh, and everybody... Oh, real quick, and everybody in the comments, we're about to get with Erica and Gia, but let's finish up this Charles conversation first.
Okay, we'll do that. And I was about to say, I don't think that Charles just thinks that Landon is a friend. I don't even think that Charles sees what he's doing yet.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. It's the difference between, let's say, Wyatt and Jeffrey back in season 1. Like, let's say Wyatt didn't catch Jeffrey on video watching him and licking his lips while Wyatt was pretending to be asleep. Now, let's say that didn't happen and Wyatt didn't know about Jeffrey climbing in bed with him. It's the same kind of thing, you know, two guys that are seemingly close friends, you know, well, I guess you could say that Wyatt would have been the candidate while Jeffrey was his assistant in rehab, so to speak. And you have one guy who's gay who's trying to go after a guy who's clearly straight. It's kind of like, you saw how Jeffrey tried to sabotage the Laura and Wyatt relationship, kind of like Landon's trying to sabotage the Candace and Charles relationship, and it's not going to end well for him. So if I were to make a prediction, I feel like Erica, Justin, and Landon might not make it to season 7 or 6, whatever season is next. I'm just making a prediction right now.
Well, I think that this season is supposed to have like 44 episodes.
Yeah. So this it's going to be interesting. I mean, they finished filming a couple weeks ago. I saw that on Angela Robinson's Instagram feed. So this season is going to be jam packed. That's all I'm saying. But all right.
Apparently, Veronica's not going anywhere for a long time.
Exactly. I mean, she's been doing so many interviews and photo shoots and whatnot. So I feel like I was more upset over the car wreck than the whole cliffhanger about Candace's father, because at least with Candace's father, it was quickly nipped in the bud in the following episode, and we got a great backstory. Now, I feel like we've talked about everything worth talking about now, but we get to the Erica and Candace and Gia scene, and yeah, the comments are just talking about how Erica was scared and Erica was trying to front. It's like, she's not my pimp. And I'm just like, I don't feel like pimp is the proper phrase. More like she owns you. Because I love the part where she's like, yeah, how does it feel to be out here with nobody watching your back? It doesn't feel good.
She said, you want me to slap you with a bottle? Oh, please don't. Please don't.
Yeah, don't say hey to me again, and don't say sorry. And I'm just like, what? Oh, somebody said, Gia's going to be waiting up in Candace's room for a long time. Will she be waiting for evidence or something, looking for it? Because she didn't know Candace got arrested right there. So unless she's undercover, we don't know. I'm just saying.
See, I just saw that, and I think that, you know, it is a possibility that she is undercover.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, the fact that, quote unquote, she's new to this hotel, she's in this operation now. I mean, the fact that how she was talking to Erica, it's more like, oh, is she your pimp? Because then why did you go out so quickly to get those clothes and whatnot? So Gia sounded, number one, a bit concerned and questioning, because obviously she's new to this life, and as an undercover vice, you want to act naive and get all the information you can, and it makes sense. And also, you think about the fact that that vice that got her arrested, well, you know, arrested her, that was for robbery. That wasn't for prostitution. So Gia could be, let's say Candace gets out of jail, which we know she will within the next 1 to 2 episodes. She might end up going back for prostitution. We don't know yet. We don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see. But I guess it really has to come down to whenever Rocky and Broderick come back on the show, which will probably be a couple episodes down the road. But we do have that fight between her and Quita next week, and I'm excited about that.
Well, yeah, I'm excited about that too. Speaking about her being in jail, okay, remember the cop last night said, well, there was a guy that said that you robbed him.
Yep.
You don't, what are the odds that it's the guy that we saw in the first episode?
Yeah, the one she took his wallet, had like a $1,500 or $1,200, and literally she broke him down like a fraction. It's like, look, I see the mark on your finger from a wedding ring, and you look like you've worked hard to get to where you want to go. Do you really want to ruin it over, you know, a one night stand or whatever? And then he's like, you bitch. He's like, yep, I'm the best there is.
And then he said, you'll hear from me again.
Yeah, I bet it was him. I mean, we don't know how many other people. Yeah, we don't know how many other people she's robbed in that hotel room. So, yeah, but I think it's him. I don't think that guy would have been on screen for as long as he was unless he was going to show up again.
Oh, I have a feeling he'll show up again.
Definitely. All right, so we got that. We got Veronica. I felt like we hit but again, this episode was good because I feel like I definitely have a lot of material to talk about over the next week. It was really a very considered episode. I mean, I didn't feel like scenes dragged on. I felt like every scene that was a bit extended did its purpose, like Benny and Veronica talking, and Mitch and Benny at the hospital.
Let's talk about Jim and Sarah.
Yeah, that's another video in itself because that's sick, but that stuff happens. It happens in real life. Man.
Oh, I know.
People sleeping their way through college and law school and getting their records erased, and now I almost feel bad for George because it looks like he's going to lose everything that he was building towards that case. But hear me out now. This is a wild card. Remember that he said, Sarah, in order to get this thing, you know, going, we really need some DNA. Do you think that Sarah might take some of Jim's DNA while they're having sex? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
You know what? That is a good point. Because if you remember the episode 8 that was called Wicked?
Candace and Jim?
Yeah.
Because I remember in episode 2 when, you know, David went into Jim's office at, you know, the courthouse talking about how we just had dinner with the current governor, and it's like, this is a golden opportunity. Jim was like, no. Then he explains about Candace, how they just like text, emails, DNA. And as soon as I heard that, it just instantly snapped. I'm like, George is looking for DNA. And then, it's just no telling. I feel like Sarah, I feel like she's going to be a wild card. I mean, I don't mind her being introduced because she doesn't seem like a major character, but I feel like her character is going to open some doors to backstory as well as throwing a wrench in Jim's operation, because last night was one of the first episodes this season, or in a while, where Jim was like, quote unquote, in control. But I feel like with everything blowing up in his face thus far, even though he's going to have that, you know, that sex scene that's going to be good for him, I feel like it's going to come back to haunt him.
I do too. So, well, I guess we know now that the girl on top of Jim was Sarah.
Yep. Well, we do know in that preview where Catherine walks in, it's going to be a black girl. So that might be somebody else. That could be Gia. That could be somebody else. So we know
what Catherine's going to do when she walks in.
We'll just have to wait and see. But let's.
But yeah, back to Sarah. I think you saw the summary episode, the episode where it says George and Sarah make progress in prosecuting the criers.
Yep.
Yeah, that DNA. That's where that DNA could come into play, right there.
I mean, the last time Jim hopped in bed with somebody was Catherine, and she threatened to blow his brains out. So. Again, he just feels like he can sex his way out of anything. Gosh. Oh man. Let me look through the chats. Cool Kid says Sarah might die this season. Sarah might die. I mean, she's just come on the show, but I feel like she's going to play an interesting role this season, but I don't think her character is big enough to make it to next season. So if there's like a bunch of like one-off characters, she might be one of the few that die. But I feel like Justin is definitely, oh my gosh. Justin needs to apologize to Jeffrey. It's a Me Too situation. Every time I see those two, I instantly think hashtag Me Too, hashtag Black Lives Matter, hashtag whatever. Golly.
Yeah, I know, and just Justin, he better watch out because he's got two. Well, he's messing with
the sons of. Oh, you exactly. Now.
What if it had been Catherine? What if it had been Catherine to walk in the condo instead of Jim?
I don't even want to know. I feel like that crowbar will be halfway up his ass. He'd be hanging out a window. I don't even know. I just feel like the Catherine we're seeing now, no, there would have been a like Jekyll and Hyde situation. Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, well, I hope that those two get to interact at some point. I really do.
Oh, I agree. And I feel like, let's say hypothetically, everybody's in court. You know, you got Jim, Catherine, Veronica, David. Then you got Jeffrey and Wyatt willing to testify. And then Justin's in there. I feel like that'll be a very, very, very interesting time. Because I think Catherine is the only one that hasn't met Justin yet. Because Veronica has. Jim.
She met Justin briefly.
When was that?
Okay, let's see. Okay, do you remember the time when the detectives came to question Hannah about the death of her grandson in the hospital?
That's right, because that's when Benny got arrested. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, she was there briefly, but then they left. It's like they were only they exchanged a few words, but that was nothing really big. But it was just brief. Okay,
yeah, that's right, because Hannah was too distraught to be questioned. I remember that. I remember that now. But let's just say everybody but Catherine has met Justin in an unfavorable circumstance. Because Veronica was snooping around and pretty much got wind of him being married and having an affair with her son. David walked in on him pushing himself on Jeffrey. Wyatt has met him a couple of times on the phone and in person. And when George came over there to question him. And now Jim's about to walk in on those two fighting. And David has met him, twice up to this point where, you know, he came over to the house to tell him about Jeffrey. And then about walking in on Jeffrey being assaulted. And next week, David's laying down. That's why I feel like this episode was great, because we saw David being David. It wasn't him being an idiot with Erica. It was David being David. Like, I'm not taking anybody.
This is the best David we have seen in a long time.
Got that right. It's like him being like a hard ass, like.
I laughed. Oh, because next week he says, I'm gonna make you look worse than a detective in the
OJ kid. Yes, that was so epic. And again, even though I hate Jim for who he is, it was good seeing Jim being Jim cry, like the whole, you know what? I'm in control of the situation. Bitch, you're going to do what I say, or I'm going to destroy you. And it's probably going to end up destroying him. But I just loved it. And then the fact that Veronica, the reason I'm so hung up on Veronica and the whole Benny talking about you're a control freak, and then you just saw the shift in Veronica's facial expression. You heard the tone and the music drop when that happened. It was just awesome, because it reminded me of Amanda, because Amanda, her trigger word was, don't call me crazy. Veronica's like, don't call me a control freak, but it's true. And what I like, Benny, even though he's made a lot of dumb decisions, he was one of my favorite characters in this episode, because he was dropping truth bombs. He was telling Veronica what she didn't want to hear, but he had evidence to back it up. It's like, you drive people crazy because you're a control freak. Your son is gay. No, he's not. He tried to kiss me. And I love that throwback to season 2. I love it because it just shows that all these stories are connected. I love it. And then even Mitch is like, okay, so if her son is gay and you hate the woman, why are you living here? That doesn't. No, you didn't answer my question. I love Mitch. He's one of my favorite characters because in a way he speaks for the audience. He asked questions that we want to know the answer to. I love it. And then Melissa, my gosh, oh man, I have no words for her.
I don't either. Now, imagine. Oh my goodness, what do you think Hannah would have to say about that?
I mean, first of all, I'll be like, Mommy, first of all, at least this is somebody who's around my age. She's technically not married. And my gosh, my Twitter blew up because it's like, she ain't pregnant. There ain't no baby bump. And I'm like, well, if Benny didn't use that condom, she might have a bump now. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
oh my goodness, wouldn't that be something crazy?
And then we'll flip it around when she tries to come on to Mitch next week. And I even tweeted Tyler Perry. I'm like, well, dang, if Melissa's trying to get it on with anybody that walks through Veronica's front door, try to put me in next episode. I know you've already filmed it, but you can do some fast editing. That's all I'm saying. But I just loved it because.
I know.
Yeah. Another thing, aside from David and Jim, seeing Melissa as a new character, you know, she's not that, you know, helpless little girl that nobody cares about. It's like, you know what? I started to lose confidence in myself, but this guy who looks at me like I'm disgusting, his witch of a mother, I just like seeing this other side of her. I mean, this is great. I feel like this episode was kind of a reset button for a lot of characters, and I am completely okay with that. Now, is next week going to be as good? I don't know, but I just want to say that I thoroughly enjoyed last night's episode. I might even watch it again tonight, you know, after I finish Black Lightning, but overall, a pretty strong episode. But yeah, those are my overall thoughts.
Have you been watching the If Loving You Is Wrong episode?
Oh my God, I'm 2 episodes behind. Oh crap. But I know that Eddie is going to kidnap Larry, and that's really what I'm excited to see.
Oh, it's already happened.
Oh yeah, 'cause I know the one episode I missed 2 weeks ago is when I remember the preview is that like Eddie hits him upside the head with the gun in the back of the car. But it's about 5 o'clock. I might try to watch it tonight. No. I'll watch it tomorrow. That way, tonight's episode will have time to air and be online. So I'll watch all 3 episodes consecutively. But I don't think that's a bad thing because those episodes drag on so long. I feel like I would have to watch 3 episodes to actually have more than one event happening. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. But anyway, back to what we're talking about with the haves and the have-nots. Let's say that, what do you think Veronica's reaction would be if she came in the front door and saw Melissa and Mitch getting it on?
I was about to ask you the same thing, but there are a couple reasons I don't see that happening. All right, let's just. All right, we're going to talk hypothetically in a second, but here's why I don't think that will happen. Number one, Mitch is Benny's ride, like his chauffeur, so to speak. So let's just say hypothetically, Benny and Melissa finish having sex. It's like, okay, we got to go. We get the clothes, we go to the hospital, and we give them to Veronica because we know Veronica's going to be in the next episode based off the preview. And I'm wondering, will Benny and Veronica go up to her room, and then while they're upstairs, that's when Melissa tries to make a move on Mitch. Now, going back to what you just said about what if Veronica saw those two together, knowing that he's a Malone, I don't think she would do much of anything. So
See, that's exactly what. I thought that's the first thing because I was thinking about it last night after the episode went off, and I was just like, you know, if Veronica knew what was good for her, she wouldn't do anything because, well, that's Mitch Malone.
Yeah, but I wonder what would happen if it was Benny. It's kind of like, I was thinking about that too. Like, what if she walked in on?
No, if it is true that Melissa's not really pregnant and that she's being set up to make think she's pregnant, maybe Veronica wouldn't care.
That's true too. She would just play it off like that's Jeffrey's baby, and nobody would be the wiser. Except that the baby has a lighter complexion.
If she were to be pregnant by Benny, that might be an advantage for Veronica. Then she would have real leverage over him.
And again, and that's another thing because it's kind of like, Candace pretending to be pregnant in season 2 to get what she wanted from Jim. It's all about manipulation and blackmail. And I feel like that would be an interesting aspect. I would actually really be more intrigued to tune in. That would really make it, because it's like, we know as an audience that Jeffrey, you're really being set up because she's not pregnant with your baby. So we'll just have to wait and see with that. But I think one of the, dang it. There was one final thought I wanted to talk about. I think it had to do with Veronica. Let me just think real quick. Malone. Oh yeah. Yeah, here it is. Now, I feel like Mitch has a point, but what do you think? Would it have been better if he would have taken the truck from Veronica or from the uncle? Now, before you answer, I will make it clear, and I'm pretty sure you already thought of this. There are cons to both Veronica and the Malones, and I'm probably going to do a video with a theory about who is more dangerous, Veronica or the Malones. Now, fly with that. Who do you think he should take the truck from?
Okay. I have thought about it. Yes, they're both dangerous, but I think that probably Veronica, it's pretty much like a lesser of two evils.
Definite. Again, it's like what Catherine told Hannah. Sometimes the devil you know is better than the devil you don't.
That's why I would probably go with Veronica.
I would probably have to go with Veronica. I feel like Veronica is the way to go for two reasons. Number one, Benny has leverage because he saved her life. That's number one. Number two, let's say if Veronica gets pissed off, like if she found out about Melissa and Benny, or if Benny said something she didn't like and she wanted to take the truck back, again, kind of a reference to what Benny told Mitch, is like, yeah, these criers, remember, like, if we piss them off, they'll probably take the house back and throw us out on the street. Like, if Veronica gets pissed off, she'd take the tow truck and leave Benny out on the street. I don't think she would do that if Benny said that me and Mitch Malone need this truck in order to start our business up again. I feel like Veronica, again, the lesser of two evils, plus Benny has more leverage. The fact that he saved her life, and then the fact that, hey, this tow truck isn't just for me, it's also for Mitch Malone. So if you want to take this tow truck back, you can, but you're going to have to deal with the Malones as well. So I feel like it's definitely more beneficial to take the truck from Veronica. Yeah, if he tells Hannah she's going to have her words, but at the same time, he probably won't die.
Exactly. And I will say, Veronica knows not to mess with Mitch Malone. Well, with Mitch, because remember last season when they first met, Veronica was like, what are you doing here? He said, oh, I'm Mitch Malone. And she was like, oh, yes, Mr. Malone?
Yep, you brought that up in one of our previous live streams, and I think that was Mitch kind of breaking up the fight between Hannah and Veronica, because Veronica was going to help Benny, but she, in a way, she just wanted respect, but also kind of to have Hannah pleading, and Mitch is kind of like, you know what, we ain't got time for this. Hi, my name is Mitch Malone, and we would really appreciate the help. And I just love how he dropped the Malone name when he wants to get business done. That's the one thing I do like about Mitch. He isn't all up in your face about it, but he's like, I'll pull out my ID if I really need to. So that is pretty good. But overall,
like Mama Rose says, he doesn't want anything to do with the business until he needs a favor.
Exactly. And even the favors, he doesn't, I don't assume he takes a lot from those favors, especially money, because as he said, it's like, look, that money has blood all over it. And I know, don't even worry about it. But overall, a pretty solid episode. My favorite, my highest ranking so far this season. Even the Justin parts, I enjoyed it because he got shut down by David. And then the fact that we know David and Jim are both going to get on his ass next week. I want to know what Jim's reaction is going to be when he busts through the door and sees what's going on.
Dude. Oh, yeah. I don't know if it'll be physical or if it'll be, I don't know if it'll be physical or if it'll be, verbal, but I'm interested to see what's going to happen there.
And I want to see, I hope Wyatt, I bet Wyatt's going to be like, this crazy asshole can't bust him into my place and, with a crowbar. So I'm pretty sure that he's going to be more verbal about what happened. But I just want to see how Jim reacts. We know the situation will be calmed down because those two are going to be sitting at some point just talking. So I really want to see what happens with that. But overall, I mean, pretty good episode. I know I have a lot of videos to do over the next week, which I'm very happy about.
I like that David and I like that David and George got to interact too last night.
Yeah, briefly, but I liked it. It's kind of like, oh, well, let's see if we can do something about that. And I'm like, okay, let's see.
David's like, yeah, let's see, let's do that.
Like your office playing games. I love the fact that somebody tweeted, I was like, what was up with David's voice cracking up? I like that aspect of it because even if it was on purpose or not, think of the fact that he's been in that office like all night long. And it's like early morning, so obviously he's exhausted, so it makes sense that his voice would be cracking up when he's lashing out at that police officer. I like those little details.
Peter Peros plays that role so well because that is not even Peter's original voice.
It is not. It is not. Yes, I've seen him in interviews. I'm like, well, dang.
And when that happened between David and George, I flashed back to season 2, and Jennifer came in, and Jim was like, "Oh, well, I've been waiting here to see my son."
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah, let's do something about that. And Jim was like, "Yeah, let's."
Again, I just love these little nods to previous seasons, but overall, I enjoyed the episode. All right, well, any final thoughts before we close up shop? Because it's almost been an hour, but I don't care because it's been such a damn good episode. A lot to talk about.
Yeah, it was a really good episode. I just hope that we get more. See, this is why I like the episode because we got a lot of not do-overs, but character reset. We got a lot of some interaction between new characters.
Mm-hmm.
And almost everybody in the episodes. Oh, it was just I hope that we get at least 2 more episodes like this before the season ends.
Bro, I couldn't agree more. It's like, I love the mix and match of characters. It adds new dynamic to it. It opens the door to storylines we've forgotten about in some cases. Like, I bet people who are new to the show didn't even know about Jeffrey trying to kiss Benny back in season 2. But overall, I hope that the next few weeks are at least a 8 out of 10 in my opinion. I don't feel like we'll get an episode like this for at least another couple weeks. Knock on wood. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens with this.
I think that this was. I think that this is episode
5.
For 5.
Yeah.
This is episode 5. So we are. I would say that we're about the halfway mark.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very interested to see how many episodes we're going to air before we go on break. I'm guessing around a dozen or 14 like we always do. But since the season is 44. Yeah. Since the season is 44, though, I'm going to do some digging, though. But, I mean, maybe they're changing.
I will tell you this. 11 times 4 is 44. We usually get 2, one half a season in the first part of the year. And the second half of the season, the second part of the year.
Yep.
So that's a season a year. So that's 22 episodes a year. If we have 22 episodes this year, 22 episodes next year, that's going to even equal out to be 44. So if I'm pretty good at math, so I would say that I'm just going to guess that we should get 11 episodes each time because 11 times 4 is 44.
I guess it comes down to how many we'll get in 2020. I'm guessing either 11 or 22. Maybe. I'm just speculating here.
Say that we would probably get around 10 or 11.
Yeah, as long as it's a good finale, at least on the OWN network. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But overall, solid episode. Yeah. Thanks everybody for joining the live stream. Please keep updated on the channel because I'll definitely have some more videos dropping before next Tuesday. But Chandler, good talk with you again. I'm pretty sure we'll be doing this again next week based on how well the episode is. And you have a great day.
You too.
All right, everybody. Again, thanks for tuning in. But I do see a lot of chats here. I'm going to try to go through these real quick. Shout out Melvin Jackson. Thanks for tuning in. Cameron, how's it going? Dominico is a good live stream. Yes, this was actually a great live stream. I don't think we had too many technical difficulties. I think my microphone went out only one time, so that's good. Cameron, I love what Melissa did. Me too. I wish it was me. Let's see. Jacqueline, what's going to happen with Hannah? Hope she gets her blessings. The thing with Hannah is she's been blessed a lot. She just hasn't accepted them. David agrees she knows not to play with the Mama Rose. That's the only person Candace is scared of. But remember, Candace does have that one favor to cash in. Cool Kid, why don't you rank the seasons on a video? I will probably do that very soon. Mama Rose is going to be the one to get Candace. I wish she was going to that. Oh, that's a good point, David. We'll have to wait and see if she'll be the one to bail her out. Oscar. Oh, yeah, I see some Oscars. Oscar wasn't in the episode, but that's completely fine because this episode was great the way it was. Oscar's pretty much called in when needed, so I'm pretty sure he's going to show up within the next couple episodes. Okay. All right, well, guys, thanks so much for... Oh, I see some more chats. My thing with Wyatt is you told him where you live and he talked all that. Yeah, Richard, I agree. It's like, why are you going to talk all tough and then act all meek when he shows up? Okay, Cameron, yeah, wish best of luck to your friend. All right, well, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and share it around. We just hit 18,000 subscribers. 18,000 subscribers. 82,000 more to go until I get 100,000, but hey, we'll work it there. But overall, I don't know when I'm doing another live stream. I might do one tonight because I'm pretty much home for the rest of the day. It's 5 o'clock here in Virginia, so I might do a live stream tonight, but I need to catch up on If Loving You Is Wrong. I have caught up on the pains, but just keep in mind, I definitely will be the one to let you know first whenever we get some more information. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next